your curiosity is affected by something you hear or see. Get connected. Don't be scared to try. What, where, when, why.
And finally, the Happy Gang have arrived back in Scotland after winning the Wide World Sandwich Making Competition. Come on. The gang, who have an exclusive agreement to talk only with the Ruth Chalmers radio show, were unavailable for comment. But I can reveal that sources at the competition say that it was the butter in their sandwich that clinched this competition for the Happy Gang.
It was the butter that clinched it.
Time now to hand you back to the Ruth Chalmers show.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, what do you make of that, gang? The competition judge, Chef Stotty, seems to say it was the butter that made your sandwiches win. Where'd you buy it?
Mr. P made it.
And it was the first butter he'd ever made. Well done, Mr. P.
Oh, you're very kind, but it takes more than butter to make a sandwich. Our sandwich won because it was healthy and full of nutrition. The butter was only part of it. Lots of people and animals have put their time and their effort and their expertise into creating the ingredients for this sandwich. That trophy is as much for them as it is for us.
Well said, Mr. P.
Bravo!
Mr. P's right. I don't think that people give much thought to where their food comes from, Ruth. Shops are so easy to use, and it's easy to forget about the people who work so hard to produce the food.
And the animals.
And the animals.
Right, a very interesting point of view from the Happy Gang. Now, if any of you listeners out there have any questions or comments you'd like to put to the gang, why not give us a call? But now it's time for our latest power play. It's from the Happy Gang.
Keeps us healthy, makes us strong. But hold on, where's this tasty food coming from?
To the dinner plate from the shops in town.
To the shops in town, from the farmer's ground.
From the earth and animals all across the land.
Food is fab. Food is fab.
Would you like to try some of my butter?
Certainly would. Let's have a go. Mr. P, that's wonderful. There's nothing like a bit of butter on your cracker. Now, it's time to go back to the phones. I think David's on the line. David, are you there? You're through to the Happy Gang.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
My question's for Mr. P.
Oh dear.
My mum's got a little butter churn, and I wondered if you could tell me what butter is made from.
Yes. Yes, I know the answer to this one. Butter is made from grass and silage.
Grass and silage.
I don't think so, Mr. P.
Honestly, David, I was just as surprised as you were when I found out. Let me explain. Nicky and Spats took me to visit a friend of theirs called Steffi. She's German. And what a day out that was. But we had to be up very early to catch the action.
Oh, hi, Steffi. Hi. Can I go feed the cows? Yes, they're back in the barn. Dying.
Hiya. This is Mr. P. He wants to find out how butter's made.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. P.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm really not used to being up this early. Why are we up this early?
Because we milk the cows at 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. We have a lot of work to do in the byre.
What's milking got to do with butter? And what's a byre?
Morning, girl.
Morning, Nicky.
Morning, Nicky.
It's very nice to see you, Nicky, but I do wish you would give us some warning before you turn up. We're really not looking our best at this time of year.
We've been in this shed all winter, and our new coats haven't grown in yet.
Still, it'll be spring soon, and the herd will be moved out into the fields. I can't wait to get tucked into that grass. We produce a lot more milk, you know, when we get to eat grass. I'm getting fed up with silage and hay.
Come on, girls. Milking time.
Thank goodness for that. My udders are getting a bit heavy with milk. I'll feel a lot better once I'm milked.
This is the milking byre, Mr. P. The cows go into these stalls and wait to get milked. While they're being milked, they're given this feed to eat. It's a real treat for them. Oh, let's get out of the way.
Hey, Spats, is this the contraption for making the butter? Oh, hey, it's sucking my hand like a hoover.
Yeah, well, they go into the cow's teats and suck out the milk, Mr. P.
Teats?
Yeah, they hang down from the udders.
What others?
No others. Udders. Steffi'll show us.
Steffi explained how the milk is gently sucked from the cow through these tubes and into this container.
Then we help to move the milk from the byre to the creamery.
So the cows turn all the silage, hay and grass into milk?
That's right, Mr. P. And now you get the chance to turn the milk into butter.
At last. Are you coming in?
No, I had my turn the last time I visited the creamery. It's your turn now. I think you'll enjoy your turn.
I've got a nasty feeling about this. It's very important to wash your hands. It stops people getting ill. What's going on here?
Well, the milk we just brought in from the farm is now being put through a separator. And what's happening is that the milk is going through the separator and coming out as skim milk over there and cream over here. And we only need that cream for making butter. So, Mr. P, could you keep an eye on this bucket here, and when it's full, will you take it across to the pasteurizer?
Sure, I'll do that.
Good.
First, I carried the cream carefully over to the pasteurizer. The pasteurizer heats up the cream, and the heat kills any bacteria or germs. The cream is then kept in a cold store overnight and will be used to make butter the following day. The cream I used had been pasteurized the day before. Once it reaches room temperature, Barry pours the cream into a butter churn. This looks like fun.
Yes. Would you like to turn?
Oh, I'd love a turn, thanks. Like this?
Yes.
That's when I found out why Spats and Peter were laughing. Churning butter is all about turning and turning and turning and turning, and it was my turn for the next half hour.
The paddles inside the churn up the cream until the buttermilk starts to separate from the fat in the cream. Barry kept a close eye on things, checking to see that Mr. P didn't churn the cream too much. The moment that the fat in the cream turns into granules is the time to stop.
Right, stop. Let's take a look inside. That's it. We've got butter.
Thank goodness. Barry drained out the buttermilk and then washed the butter granules with water until the water running out of the churn was clear. It's important to wash all the buttermilk off. If the butter isn't washed properly, it won't keep and it will turn rancid. At last, salt is added to the butter. Just a little bit more turning.
Right. Should be done.
And there it was at last.
The butter is then patted into shape using wooden butter pats.
We all had great fun making it into pats.
Handmade butter made from grass and silage.
With the help of some cows.
And the dairy farmer.
And my poor old arm.
Oh, I am exhausted just listening to you. Let's take a break and have a listen to today's Power Play.
Cows are fed and milked, and that milk is then
churned and separated and patted then.
We can spread our bread and it tastes 10 out of 10.
Butter's fab. Butter's fab. Butter's fab.
And now it was my turn to make the competition butter. So I pour in the cream, and then it's time to turn the churn. But this time, I had some helpers. It was my job to keep checking up on the help. At last, it had started to separate. Just a little bit more turning, and I'd be ready to start washing the butter like Barry had shown me. I drained off the whey and started to rinse. Then it was time to pat it out, just like we'd seen at the creamery. The moment of truth. We tried my butter on Nicky's bread.
Oh, Mr. P, this is so good. So yummy. So buttery.
Thanks for your answer, Mr. P. I think I'm going to make some butter with my mum.
Well, good luck, and remember and take turns at churning.
Yeah, bye, David. Oh, I'm glad I can buy butter at the shops, even if it is made in big factories.
I agree, but it's nice to make your own butter once in a while.
It's fab, keeps us healthy, makes us strong. But hold on, where's this tasty food coming from?
cows are fed and milked, and that milk is then
churned and separated and patted then.
We can spread our bread and it tastes 10 out of 10.
Butter's fab. Butter's fab. Butter's fab.
That was delicious.
You haven't eaten all our butter, have you?
Oh no, too much butter's not good for you.
And my arm's still sore. We'll need to make another batch. Spats, you're so greedy.
Gotcha.
Ah!
I was just kidding.
Cheerio! If your curiosity is affected by something you